Hello, this is Steve with this week's YouTube video, and again it's lots of use of English. I think this is the most useful thing that that people need, because it's a thing you can practice very easily. For your reading and listening and all those things, it's more dedicated time, not in a YouTube video. But this 10 minutes, sit down, learn lots of expressions. Again, this is a class I did in school this week. We were lucky enough to have a language exchange, a visit from another school, which we do in school quite a lot, a great opportunity to practice your speaking, to get to know other people. So to prepare for this, I made some use of English activities based on the document from this school's website. I always find this very interesting, that you are learning real English in these kind of Cambridge exams, the kind of expressions they want you to know. And then you find them on a random website from a school. You think, wow, that would be on a B2-C1 exam. So the point is, you can learn English in these natural ways, and the Cambridge exam is testing your real knowledge of English. So let's get into it with part 1, vocab, choosing the best word from options. Pause the video, read about the incredible North Bromsgrove High School, describing where it is and all these kind of things. Choose the best word depending on the sentence, thinking about the context of the sentence and phrases that sound good, natural ways of saying it. Pause the video, do it, take 2 or 3 minutes to do it if you're working hard very fast, and then I'll tell you the answers and you can keep your score and learn something. Number 1, the answer is aged, because these students are aged 13 to 18. That's how we would say that. Number 2 is the town centre, isn't it? That's an easy expression. Number 3, playing fields are the places where you play. That's the most natural way of saying it. And number 4, it's the very latest technology. You can't say, you can say modern technology, but you can't say the very modern technology, because it's not a superlative. We would need to say the most modern technology or something. Number 5, you cater to someone, or something caters to someone. That's why we call it catering, because you are providing a service, but it's with to. And number 6, they are the surrounding rural areas. That's the phrase that fits, and the context tells you that as well, and they're the surrounding areas. So you have a score out of 6. Obviously in the real exam there's 8, but I only made 6 to keep it short and interesting. Keep your score. Let's move on to part 2. Is the next part of their website, where they describe what they have in the school. You know how it works. Complete the gaps with a common grammatical word like in, on, or at, as I always say. Pause the video, read carefully, think about the meaning. Here come the answers. What do they have? An air-conditioned Apple Mac room. Very nice, full of apples. You can take part in lots of sports. Take part in, participate. An array, from the context, I'm hoping you're seeing that this is similar to a variety, a range of, a variety of, a range of sports. And here we are just naming some of them. We are naming but a few. That's a really nice B2-C1 expression that I hope you would know. Number 5, this is a bit of a tough one, because you could leave it blank, of course. But you're not allowed to in the exam. You have to write something. So the key is to think about how the sentence is built. Students are developing their acting and technical skills, 2 different skills, and they're developing not just one of them, but both of them, both acting and technical skills. And finally, another really typical expression, a range of instruments, ukuleles, 2 conga drums. It's from and to, isn't it? We've all learned that one in my videos, in your other Cambridge exams, from X to Y. Okay, score out of 6, hope you did well. Let's do part 3. Complete the gap by transforming the corresponding word. I've made it very clear here. Number 1 in number 1, number 2 in number 2, and so on. Pause the video, try and transform them again. Here come the answers. Number 1, we're starting with a bit of a tough one. Obviously, I've got whole videos on this. How common it is to use adverbs in part 3. How is technology integrated? All the time, always, frequently, consistently integrated. They use a lot of technology. They even have their own music rooms and so on. And the dance studio, well, of course it's professional. We're talking about North Bromsgrove here. Number 3, what do they need? Equipment. Number 4, the subject where you take photos is photography, a little bit irregular. And number 5, a very irregular one, you can deliver a lesson or a class. So we're talking about the delivery of the lessons, which goes very well because of their dedicated classrooms. And number 6, there's an art studio where students can do research. And what should you be doing if you're a good student in the art studio where you don't need any teachers because it's your space? Independent study. So context clues again to make it the negative word, independent, not depending on teachers. Okay, again, some part 4 to finish. I am Mr. Smith, in case that wasn't clear. This is my full name that it says on my birth certificate, Mr. Smith. So I've made some sentences related to school and these kind of things, which you can complete. So it means the same as the first, using the word given in bold, using 5 words max. Pause the video, and then I'm going to tell you the answers, which again are things you should know for B2 and C1. Grammatical structures you should know. You should know how to use regret and wish, for example, because regret, and here comes the answer, means you're not happy about something in the past. So we're talking about something in the past. With wish, we're going to need the past perfect. I wish I had listened to Mr. Smith. Oh, I regret not listening. I wish I had listened. Number 2, he managed to finish. So he succeeded in, the best preposition with succeed is in. And then because it's a preposition, we're going to need ing. We can keep the verb the same because we're keeping everything the same, but you succeed in finishing. So that gives you your 2 marks there. And number 3, to make the most of with advantage is another expression, which if you're thinking is, yes, take advantage of, that's my expression. And then you advise someone to do something, of course. It's like tell someone, ask someone to. Advise does to take advantage of the information on the internet. And number 4, a little comparative, talking about my car again. I feel like I'm obsessed with my car, but I guess it's a useful thing to talk about. You got to talk about something to learn English. My teacher's car cost a lot more. Then the car was expensive, but it cost a lot more. So it was far more expensive. We're using a slightly different comparative for emphasis, saying something's far more expensive. Okay, there we go. That's enough use of English for today. Keep practicing. Have fun. See you next week.